Every year, the entire nation comes to a halt to commemorate Israeli Memorial Day, which comes just one day ahead of Israeli Independence Day celebrations. ILTV's Steve Lewitt sat down with the former head of the IDF History Branch yesterday to learn more about the origins of these special national holidays and to find out why they're so important to Israel.
It's when the State of Israel was founded, various attempts were made to create national holidays, which would be proper holidays, not just technical, where you go on a picnic. And the one that caught most of all is Day of Independence coupled with Memorial Day. Well, this was not an original intention. Day of Independence is a calendar date determined by the Declaration of the State of Israel, which is the 15th of May or 14th of May, because the 15th was Sabbath, and you don't declare a state on Sabbath, as we all know. And Memorial Day became attached, that was not the original intention, to Independence Day. And it's the one real national holiday in the full sense of the word, where the state is at the center. Rather than being a religious holiday or a holiday derived from Jewish heritage, this is a state holiday. And the center of attention, the main provider of content for those 2 days is the army, and the service in the army. Now, since in Israel there's universal conscription, the whole or most of the population serves in the army. So the army intentionally, from the outset, provides a common denominator. When Israelis meet, say, in Israel, outside Israel, one of the first questions is, where did you serve? And that provides terms of reference. So, do you know so-and-so? Were you here? Were you there? Which war were you in? What was the food like? What was accommodation like? And so on. So it's using this intentional provider of a common denominator as a means of creating national identity. And that works.
Israeli people, almost to a man, with the exception of some fringe, stand at attention for the moment of silence. They're involved with it. They really seem to be a people that is mourning a loss, even if they didn't lose anyone directly. And then the population, 24 hours later, is asked to switch his head, and suddenly he's in the midst of celebrating independence, celebrating democracy, the creation of a Jewish state. It must be, as an observer, it must be tough to make that transition.
For some, it's very tough. I mean, not everyone can do it, certainly not with great ease, especially those who have some sort of direct experience of either war or family members fallen, and it's fairly common throughout the country. But there have always been discussions whether the two should be separated. The main argument is that the mourning provides the meaning for the accomplishment of statehood. It gives it perspective, gives it depth. And by and large, that rationale is accepted. So that provides a justification for switching from one mode to the other. And it's sort of a catharsis.
It's a very, very emotional time. Now, we're 68 years on. We're not a country that's just been born. Do you think that the feeling about the Israeli soldier, the fallen in Israeli society, is playing as active a role today as it was at the time of the establishment of the state?
Very much so. I think the emotive power of the memory of the fallen in battle for the sake of the community, the sake of the collective, has proven itself in Israel and outside Israel as extremely powerful over the years. For those who seek a focus for identity, for communal identity, that's one of the most powerful available. The memory of those who sacrifice themselves for the community. That works. And as long as Israeli society resembles the present society and the circumstances are similar to the ones today, I expect it will prevail.